Tell us who you are.
David Buschur, formerly of Buschur Racing. Now it's Buschur's LLC.
What was your first car?
A 1970 Chevelle with a 350, 300 horsepower engine. It was my mom's and got handed down to me. And by 84, when I got it, it was a rust bucket pile of garbage that I redid and painted.
What made you get into DSMs?
So I had a Monty SS when I got out of the service. I was driving by Bob Pugh Jeep Eagle, saw Talons on a lot, stopped and test drove one, and that was it. Traded the Monty in on the spot. Yeah, it was faster. The Monty run 1530s, and I could tell that DSM was faster than that, so I left with it.
What made you start Buschur's?
So there was a place called the MDSOG out of Texas, owned by this guy I'm still friends with, Mike Westwood. And it was like a quarterly newsletter. It was in Turbo Magazine. I signed up for it, and I started writing articles for it because at the time I had the fastest DSM around, which lasted for 20-some years. And Mike talked me into starting a business. So it was originally called Priority Performance. And at the time I was working at the steel mill, my dad was my foreman, and I told him what I named, and he's like, why don't you just name it Buschur Racing? Like, cool idea. So I don't know how long it was Priority Performance, maybe a few months.
After starting Buschur's, what made you start the Shootout?
Well, this was way before your time, Brandon. Like maybe you were in diapers still. But there was no fast four-cylinders around. So we were out there beating these frickin' 5.0s and these Mustang, the Mustangs, the Camaros in the time. Everybody was amazed by the cars, but there was no place to like spotlight those. So I talked to Bill Bader Sr., and we arranged to just get the track, one lane, lane 8 at Norwalk, on a Friday night, just to get some guys together. So Mike Westwood and I put it together, and the first year for that was 93. So the Shootout has actually been going for 33 years, although officially it's 32. The first year we had 4 cars. My Talon was broke, imagine that, in the shop with a busted rear diff, and I had my Chevelle there. There was an RX-7, 2 Talons, and my Chevelle.
What do you think made the Shootout kind of snowball into something bigger after the first year?
Well, if you got something good, man, it's like a hamburger joint that's got a good burger. You tell your friends and they all come. Same thing. Everybody had such a great time. Back then, it was a huge party at my house, bonfire. We were burning couches and street racing on Butler Road, which everybody called Rubber Road back in the day. It was so much fun, man. People just kept coming and coming. The first year there was 4. The next year there was 8. And then I think it went 19, 47, 90 some. That was racers, because back then there was no spectators.
What was the first part you made that someone else wanted?
Wanted or copied?
Wanted.
The gauge holders. The first thing we made were gauge holders that went in the center vent, and I think the next thing we probably made were off-road pipes, then down pipes.
When you made those gauge holders, you didn't really intend on selling them, did you? You just made it for yourself?
Correct. I made it with a hole saw and a bench grinder. I was at Norwalk one night, and another guy with a Talon come by, and he's like, wow, I had VDO gauges, and back then they matched the interior pretty close. And for those that don't know, I think that's what they put in the GNXs. Maybe they're Stuart Warners, but they match nicely. Anyway, the guy asked me how I ordered that. He thought it was an option. So I told him I'd make another one. So I made it on a bench grinder. And the next time at the track, somebody else wanted one. So then we went into laser cutting them.
Regarding Buschur's or the Shootout, were there any setbacks that you had?
We've had a lot. Buschur's not really. It's amazing because, quick story, try to put it in there. When I started Buschur's, I was at the steel mill making a good living, running a crane. I was a laborer there. And I went into my dad one day and I was like, look at my checkbook. And he's like, what? And I said, I put $13,000 in my account last month. He's like, from what? I was selling parts. He's like, bro, you need to get a business license and get something started like ASAP. So Buschur's kind of grew on its own because back in the day, we were the only shop out there. We're still the oldest one. There's nobody left that's been doing this longer than us since 36 years. But as far as the Shootout, it's had a lot of setbacks over the years. Arguments at the track. We had some douchebag from Florida come up and try to ruin it one year, reporting everybody to the NHRA for safety violations. That killed the Shootout. That was the peak of the Shootout, was that year. And after that, people got scared to come back because of all the safety rules. We've worked around a lot of that stuff. You can come and race now. But it's had a few setbacks over the years, caused by other people causing problems. Last year, I would say, is one of them.
Is there anyone that you looked up to, when starting the business or even just throughout any of the years?
I don't think not in the automotive industry. Maybe the one guy I thought was pretty cool back in the day was Lingenfelder. They did I don't remember what it was, some Chevy rear wheel drive car, Chevy 4-cylinder, and he was the first in the sixes with an import car. And I remember there's a quote in the building somewhere that I said, if he can do it, I need to get to work.
Looking back on the Shootout, what was one of your favorite memories?
Probably the year Dave Shee came here with the first front wheel drive Honda to go against me. The first day we were there, I don't remember which it was. There was a Shootout on a Saturday and Sport Compact Nationals on a Sunday, or vice versa. And the entire first day, we had nothing but problems with the car. So we're running a VPC. We had a set of, I think, 660cc injectors in it. It wouldn't idle. It wouldn't do a burnout. It was nothing but problems. We never made a good pass. That night, we went over to the spectator side of Norwalk and we were messing with the car. My brother and I were talking in the trailer, and I said, the only thing we've changed are the injectors. They got to be too big. The car wouldn't run on a 660 injector. We put a set of 550s in it, fired right up, rev clean. We pulled out on the asphalt on the spectator side, and I got in trouble for this. And there was a bunch of people there, all DSM guys, and we did about an 8-mile burnout down that return road. And when I had my meeting with Bill, he said he had to find out who ruined his asphalt because there was a hole burnt from where I sat and did the burnout, and he wanted paid for it. So I was like, it was me. So he was pissed, but we got a laugh at it, and he didn't charge me anything. But that was super cool because when I did this burnout, there was hundreds of people there just hanging around watching, and the cheers from that they were so happy to see the car work. And then the next day I beat Dave Shee in the heads up race. We were then the fastest. I think then it was like 1060s, the fastest DSM on the planet.
So give us a quick rundown of the main shop cars that you had.
Well, there's the original 4-banger, which was a 91 Talon. That's the one I bought that I traded my Monte Carlo. No, I'm sorry. My Monte Carlo got traded in on 90. Then I got the 91 Black Cherry, which some other guy owns. Everybody knows about now. And then from there, that car, when I sold it to the other dude, it had a broken diff in it. I was tired of breaking the car. So I sold it to him, and I'd already been starting on a rear-wheel drive project. That belongs to a guy named Kevin now, the blue car. It was black then. Then we painted it yellow, made the cover of Turbo Magazine. From there, we did the tube chassis 2G, then the 8-second Evo, all my street Evos, the Bish, 32 Ford car built with a 4G. I mean, the GTR. There's been too many to remember them all, man. I'm old.
What was the fastest car you had?
The tube chassis car went 781 at 174 on a single set of 660 injectors. We really learned how to tune when we got them babies working. You know, some old school like T67 turbo, VPC, GCC.
Old school stuff.
Old school, man. Nobody believes it was 660s, but the extra fuel was coming from the nitrous jet.
So tell us a little bit about the crash that you had in that car and things that were going through your mind as it happened, after it happened.
So my wife, Renee, we're still married. Believe it or not, somebody stuck with me this long. Here's an interesting fact. I had my wife working for me at the Shootout. We just realized this the other night, when she was 15 as a gate girl. I'm not a pedophile. We did nothing until she was an adult. I didn't even like her then. Anyway, and she hated me then. Anyway, what'd you ask me? Oh, about the crash.
Yeah.
So we were in Englishtown. Something happened here at the shop, and I didn't want to leave. Like, I didn't want to go race. I don't remember what happened with the car. And the guys threw it together the night before because they thought I was hot to go. So anyway, we go to the track. Renee then was about 8 months pregnant, and the track was in horrible shape that year. There was a guy named Javier, I think, running it. He didn't want to hear anything about how bad the track was, but I'm sitting in the car. It's like 90 degrees, sweat running down my face, and you can hear the announcer, Brett Kepner from ESPN. It was live on ESPN2, talking about, oh, he's out of shape. This guy's out of shape. And I'm thinking, take your dumb ass back to the trailer and wait for the next round of qualifying. But between that and the tube chassis Buick I was driving at the time, I'd saved a car so many times, I thought it was indestructible. I was like, man up, boy. So the car got out of shape a couple times, and I think the third time it got sideways, I was completely off the throttle trying to get it to come back. and it just kept sliding. All I could think was, get out of the car so Renee knows you're okay. So I hit the wall, and that's all I'm thinking. Get out so she knows you're fine. So little did I know, I'll get to this in a minute, she's on the start line watching this whole thing. I jump out of the car, raise my hands up. Brett's announcing, oh, he's out of the car already, he's fine. The ambulance pulled up and said, are you okay? And I was like, brother, my nuts exploded, I think. And it was a lady. So I was like, my fucking balls, man. So the other guy comes up, he's like, yo, watch your language. I was like, get out of my way. I walked in the ambulance and dropped my pants, and I was like, are you little guys okay? The crotch strap in that car, they don't tell you. When you slide forward, well, there's no helmet on them. So here's the bad part. When the crash happened, my friend was there with an F-150 truck. They were waiting to drive down to pick me up. Renee went to jump into the back of the truck. Now, her belly's big. She's ready to pop. Just as she grabbed the top of the tailgate, Bucky, the guy that was there with us, hammered the gas. Ted, a guy who used to work for me, grabbed her by the arms and pulled her over the tailgate. Otherwise, she'd have slung off the back of it.
That would not been good.
It wasn't good. Neither were my nuts.
She made it down there. You were all right.
Yep, everything's good. Yeah, so the engine in it wasn't hurt, and we had the Conquest there. The Conquest blew the motor up that day, or something damaged. Probably burned a cylinder head because we were running like 13.7 to 1 because there's no wideband gauges then. We couldn't figure out why we were blowing shit up. Anyway, we went back to the trailer and pulled the engine out of that car and tried to swap it into the Conquest for the next day. And that didn't go well. About 2:30 in the morning, I threw the oil pans full of oil, all the tools, the motor's loose, the car's loose, and came home. You can't work with a concussion.
Not ideal. Who has been your biggest support throughout the years of owning the business?
My wife. 100%.
She used to work with you, right?
Yep, she worked here for probably 5 years.
What made you want to stay in Wakeman with the business for as long as you did?
I grew up here. As you see, you've been here, what, 5 years? Most of the cars that we've got here are from out of state, so it doesn't really matter where we're at. People are going to come to us. We've had cars in this building from all 50 states. We used to take pictures of license plates. My brother's probably still got the album, or maybe the guy that worked for him, Steve. There's a picture in that book from Hawaii, Alaska. Every single state in the USA has been here to have a car worked on. Plus Guam, I think Philippines. We've had cars here from, you name it, they've been here.
That's one thing I've noticed is if you got a good shop that does good work, people will come to you from anywhere.
Yeah, you can get a car. I mean, we just had the Suburban transported here from the West Coast for $1,200.
Yep.
It's not expensive to get your car to the right place, which is here.
So how did you choose this piece of land to build Buschurs on compared to any other plot of land that may have been available at the time?
So the hardware store down the street used to be right here at the bank building. Before that, it was across the street, and I worked for the two owners. I met my wife where it is now, across the street from there. And he owned all this, from this yellow building behind me all the way to the end street. So originally, I bought just the lot the building sits on, which ended about where your feet are. After we built the building, we realized if somebody else bought this, we couldn't even make the turn in the doors. So I bought this piece. And then the section to get us out the back, I bought again. And then you remember the old train depot?
Yep.
I bought that piece, and then I ended up buying the whole field, which now has got the massive gas station in it.
Is there a favorite car you built?
The Bish. Should have never ruined it making it rear-wheel drive.
Surprised it's not the GTR.
Yeah, the GTR is badass too. Maybe the GTR. The GTR was great because it went 830s, 168. Drive it to the track, went what, 850, 60 on pump gas?
Yep.
It's still the record holder on pump gas, and that's been what, 7 years, 6 years? Nobody's beat it.
What was your favorite track you visited?
With any car?
Yes.
Maybe Bristol. I raced the Buick, the tube chassis Buick. I run there. That car went 750s. I probably, honestly, had the most fun with that crew of guys racing the Buick. Maybe it's because I showed up with a helmet and a suit. Got treated like a king by my friend Ron Lumen. And I got to race and go home. I didn't have to check tire pressure. I didn't have to tune. Strap in and roll.
Give us maybe one or two of your favorite stories while on the road racing. Could be while you're traveling or at the tracks.
I bought a brand new motorhome and a 28-foot trailer. Brand new. This is probably in 2000. We had a tube chassis car in it, and I had this good friend named Jason who was a professional truck driver. He made sure to tell me. Drove 80,000 pounds all week. Driving this little pile of shit that I got, no problem. Well, the PA Turnpike was necked way down, and they had concrete barriers on both sides, literally on the white line. I was tired, and I gave him the wheel. And I looked over, and I said, buddy, you're too close to that concrete for my liking. Well, when he looked in the mirror to see how close he was, he hit it. So I was thinking about punching him in his throat because I was so pissed off. He looks again and hit it 2 times. He ripped the awning off the trailer, ripped the trim around the tire off, ripped the awning off the motorhome on the second hit. That was a good one. We were coming back from another race and we got struck by lightning right in front of the truck. I think it was that motorhome, as a matter of fact, and shut it off in the middle of the turnpike. Threw it into neutral, trying to go 70 miles an hour, hit the key, and somehow it refired. I could tell you one about getting a blowjob in the RV if you want to hear it. Somebody else was driving, and you know the bed up above it?
Yeah.
That's probably not for this video.
Maybe not.
Okay. If anybody wants to hear it, stop by at the Shootout. My wife will tell you. She was there too.
You drove your car onto a trailer very quickly.
Oh. You talking about Pomona?
Yeah, I think so.
The first rear-wheel drive car, the one that's blue now, we took to Pomona to race. And I had this trans built by this guy. He's dead now. The Power Glide. It's supposed to be the best of everything in this thing. Drive all the way there with a brand new rollback. 4700 chassis, Jerridan rollback, aluminum bed. We got out there with me and my dad. I was racing Adam Saratari in the finals. I pulled into stage, and when I hit the trans brake, the car backed up out of the stage beams. So I thought, well, I must have left this thing in reverse or something. So I grabbed the gear shift. This was on ESPN too. Pulled back forward in stage, hit it again. The car backs up. Well, I can hear the announcer, oh, Buschur's fucking with Saratari. I'm not fucking with anybody, dude. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So I decide if I deep stage and I hit it, it'll back me into the stage beam. So I deep stage, hit it, it backs me back into the stage beam. I hit the gas. Well, the guy in the tree was done with my games. As soon as I got in the lights, he dropped it. There went Adam because he was sitting around the 2-step. When I got at the end of the track, I was so pissed off. The back of that Jerridan truck is like this on a rollback. I don't know how fast I hit it, but I thought I was going to go over the header rack. I had the car strapped down and almost tipped back before my dad could get over there. He saw the look on my face, helped me finish, got in the passenger seat, and I did not talk until we got almost to Vegas. And I think the first thing was, what in the fuck was that?
So, did you guys figure out what it was eventually?
Yeah, there's I haven't done a Power Glide in a long time. The reverse band needs adjusted. Nobody ever told me. So I had to buy an inch-pound torque wrench, and we checked that thing every race after that.
So let's back up a little bit and tell us why or how you ended up with this new 1G.
That was a good racing memory. I think you asked me that already, right? So I took the Black Cherry Talon to Milan to do some racing. My mom and her husband came up to watch. At the end of the night, we went out and we got trashed. I did well up there, whatever. I don't remember what the race was, but the next day I'm hungover. My mom calls. She's like, guess what I did? Guess what I did? I'm hungover in no mood. I'm like, I don't know what you did. Just tell me. I bought a 93 Talon. So this must have been in 93. And I was like, no, you didn't. I'm on my way to your house. So she shows up in a green 93 just like this and tells me she wants to go 12s. So I told her put 1,000 miles on it, bring it back, we'd mod it, which we did. And my mom had that car for like 160,000 miles. So Annika Morrison had this one. She had heard the story, I think, in the past, or maybe I told her when I saw the car, and she offered it to me last year at the Shootout, so I bought it.
So what was your plan originally when you got the car, and then what did it turn into?
Nothing's really changed. I thought, we've had it a year. We're super busy here. It's hard to get stuff in, you know. I thought by this time we'd have a nice sleeve, one of our race motors in it. It's got the same 2.3 in it, the head, the cams. I don't know anything about it. So in the year that we've had it, we've developed a complete new turbo back for it, which matches up to Morrison's downpipe. a header kit, front mount, intercooler pipes, a battery tray that I don't think's ever been offered by anybody that also integrates our billet catch can. But for the most part, I mean, I built it. It's the intentions I started with.
Bring it up to the 21st century.
Yeah, drive-by-wire, Haltech in it, Koenig wheels. I mean, I think it looks super sharp. I hope it makes it through the shootout with no mechanical issues. So I'm super happy, and I keep going with it.
Those wheels look pretty nice. How'd you get those?
Koenig helped us out on them. I think part of your doing. I'm amazed at no matter how we got the wheels, is the weight. These were 16 pounds. In 2017, when I left here to try to find a wheel that light, was $1 million. So I'm super, super impressed. I mean, the quality is fantastic, and the weight blows my mind how far the wheel industry's come in 8 years.
So what are you running for an ECU in this new 21st century?
Haltech Nexus, drive-by-wire, and I have been stuck on the old school, you know what I tune here. If we've got Haltech, we send it down to Redline. And now that I've done Sescar yesterday, a couple other random ones in this, I'm sold. It runs so good. It's got a base map from them in it. I had to just touch up fuel trims, but I just drove it around a little bit yesterday, not even been on the dyno. It runs really, really good.
And I think they hooked us up with the custom harness as well, where everything was, for the most part,
yeah, plug and play. Yeah.
So what do you want to accomplish this year at the shootout with the car?
Whoop your ass.
Well, other than that, because that's off the table.
I just want to have fun, man. I built it for max effort, so I kind of built this like the Bish. So the Bish was never intended to be a drag car. It always had big brakes, interior, full exhaust, 2 mufflers. It was meant to be responsive but fast. The car went 904 and I could still autocross it. So I have no intentions of trying to go 9s with this. But if it went 1050s and I could autocross it, enjoy it. I want to take it to some car shows, me and my wife, and just, it's nostalgic now, man. The car's 30 years old.
Just like the one your mom had.
Yep, just like my mom's. She's going to drive it. She hasn't drove stick in a long time, but if she can drive it, she's going to try.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. To get some videos or pictures of that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's 78 now.
I think what else? I don't know if I really want to talk about the Corolla. I can.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'd really like to see a rear-wheel drive class come back at the shootout. We've only had it a few years because the numbers are pretty limited, but love to see Albert's car out here. That is one badass tube chassis, beautiful car. He can't make it this year, and there's no payout, so I can understand why.
You can just continue. So you already took care of the rear drive class thing, so you can just continue. And I was going to say, do you think if you were still racing, Albert's car is kind of something similar to what you would have?
Other than the trans and probably the ECU, I think my tube chassis, I had it in the late 90s. So yes, there's a question, do I think I'd be that fast? I would hope, since I went 7s in 2000, 25 years later, I could be.
I'd say so. It wouldn't make sense to not be there.
I mean, Jet Racing's running, what, 6.0s?
Yep.
So
any closing comments that we may have missed?
I want to really thank everybody for supporting me so long for the shop. It's been 36 years of this. Thanks for coming to the race. It only grows if you keep coming and bringing more people. So I really, really appreciate all the support, kind words. I even appreciate the arguments. Appreciate you too, Brandon and Mike. Everybody works here, so.
Thanks for doing the interview.
You're welcome.